All right, bikes and vans back at you. This time on a motorcycle ride through Kitsap County, Washington, focusing on the north end, starting here in the town of Port Gamble, which I'm often at on my mountain bike. And I usually stop at that general store right there to your right to pick up one of their fine selections of beers or habanero cider. But today, I was just there on the motorcycle to check stuff out and enjoy the weather. All right, this is 307, I think, Highway 307 at its terminus as we're descending into the beautiful town of Hansville, Washington. To the left, if you take the road, it goes to Buck County Park, which is a pretty awesome county park. To the right, if you take that one, and we will go there in a little bit, that takes you down to Point No Point Lighthouse, and what is probably the coolest house I've ever seen. We'll see that as well. I'm heading up here to Norwegian Park and the Hansville General Store, I guess. Hansville Grocery. There's a cafe there as well, which has great Reubens. If you're ever there, you should stop and get a Reuben there. They are amazing. And I'm going to stop, get a cup of coffee, and enjoy the view. There's a pretty spectacular view here at Norwegian Park. Walking out to the beach, there's Whidbey Island straight ahead of me. This is really the kind of the eastern end of Admiralty Inlet before boats re-enter or stay in the traffic separation scheme as they head down into Seattle and Tacoma. And it's just a beautiful area. This is heading down towards the lighthouse, and off to the right here is that coolest house I think I've ever seen. It's the motor vessel Jupiter Inlet. owner had it, the superstructure, relocated there and lives in it. It's pretty goddamn cool. Now we're heading down towards the lighthouse proper. This is entering the parking area at the lighthouse. I don't think I was supposed to be going this way. But I couldn't tell if I wasn't supposed to enter over there into the parking area or if I wasn't supposed to keep going straight. I didn't think I was supposed to keep going straight. But this is the lighthouse communications tower there that they have. Still all, I think, owned. It's still a lighthouse. I think it's owned and maintained by the Coast Guard, but kept up by some Lighthouse Preservation Society. I bumped into that dog again while I was taking a walk around the lighthouse grounds, and it was an older spaniel, and apparently his dad, who is no longer with us, was a motorcycle rider, so he kept following me around carrying my motorcycle helmet and my motorcycle gear, which was kind of sad, but also endearing. That picture I just showed was looking out over the lighthouse property towards Mount Rainier to the south. That's walking up to the lighthouse, and that's me walking away from the lighthouse. Pretty cool place being out on the end of the property. Oh, it's an internationally recognized important bird area. Those birds are so full of themselves. Okay, heading back south from Hansville. I took a right on 288th Street, which is this road here, and it kind of cuts off the corner, so I don't have to go all the way to the Four Corners at 104, then make a right, and then another right to get back to Port Gamble, heading towards the Hood Canal Bridge. This kind of cuts off that corner. This turns into Gamble Bay Road, which goes along the other side of Port Gamble Bay from the town of Port Gamble, and it connects back to Highway 104, make a right, head back into town, into Port Gamble. In this case, I didn't go back into Port Gamble. I ended up going down into Paulsbo, and you'll see that in just a moment. As promised, this is Paulsbo, Washington. It's a Norwegian and Viking kind of themed town. I don't know if it's themed that way. It's just where a lot of Norwegian folks have settled when they moved to the area or in the area. And as such, their town is kind of Norwegian flavored. There's a Sons of Norway right here on the right-hand side. I once officiated a wedding there for Nevada and Savannah, friends of mine. And it was a beautiful ceremony, if I do say so myself. But also in a beautiful little town there, right on Liberty Bay. So if you're into like Vikings and Norwegian stuff, food, that type of thing, the town of Paulsbo, and also maritime stuff, there's a lot of that too. Paulsbo is definitely worth a visit. This main street down on the waterfront, just all the shops and places to eat. There's the world famous Sly's Bakery here in Paulsbo. So definitely worth a stop if you're in the area. Alright, we're getting off the highway here in Bremerton, Washington. This is taking a little back road through the upper NAD Park. That's like a Navy F-4 Phantom, I believe, that's been demilitarized and is on display there at the park. NAD is an acronym that stands for Naval Ammunition Depot. So there's an upper NAD Park and a lower NAD Park, which is down by the water on Dyes Inlet. And upper NAD Park has a bunch of trails and some, disc golf. So it's a pretty cool place to check out. All right, so now we're down by Auto Center Way in Bremerton, and I'm making a right-hand turn to head over to Brothers Power Sports. That is my local Triumph dealership. And a couple weeks ago, I ordered a headlamp from them because my low beam was out. And they promised me that it would be in today and in stock today. So I'm stopping by to pick that up, checking out some cool bikes. And always helpful at Brothers Power Sports. A bunch of pretty cool dudes that work there. And probably a couple cool chicks too. I'm not sure, but
look at these bad boys.
Definitely all the dudes I work with when I go there are awesome. So, and they have some pretty Triumphs on display and Indians. Super fun to just go and look at bikes. Alright, and this is the home stretch of the ride right here. Back on Highway 3 heading south, where it branches off. And if you keep going south on 3, you'll head to Belfair and Shelton. I'm going to stay to the left, where it turns into Highway 16 to head home to Port Orchard. This is Gorst, and getting through the worst of the shipyard traffic as I went through there at pretty much the wrong time, but moving pretty good now. Once you get past the several merger choke points, so almost home. Next stop is the Tremont exit. Alright, this is the Tremont exit, almost home. Getting off here. I like to play a little game on my motorcycle. This is a pretty sweeping right-handed turn. Gets a little tighter towards the end. I like to see if I can maintain 40 miles an hour as I'm leaned over going through this turn. I did it this time. Normally I get too scared and have to straighten up the bike and hit the brakes, but this time I kept 40 miles an hour the whole way through it, and it's pretty fun. Stupid, but it's fun. And this last part here is I take a right from this traffic circle and head up South Kitsap Boulevard. It's probably one of my favorite little stretches of road near my house. It's probably a traffic ticket, speeding ticket waiting to happen, but it's just kind of it's uphill, and it's like a right-handed, left-handed little S-turn kind of thing, and pretty fun to get on the gas a little bit here. Past the urgent care and the Federal Credit Union. Little right-hander. Lean it over to the left. Don't hit the truck that's turning, and then give it some gas heading up the hill. And then it comes to an abrupt stop. That's it. That's pretty much home from here. So thanks for watching if you still are. And see you on the next ride.